The struggle is real. Let me explain to you something that's going on in my jewelry business. My best performing employee was attacked. She got off work, she went home, and someone was waiting for her at her door. And they attacked her, beat her, she had to go to the hospital. She got a concussion, and she has not been the same since. And the other day, she was supposed to come in. I didn't get a call from her, I didn't hear from her. And they have her on this serious medication that she took, and it literally just passes out. And we had a conversation the other day because she tried to come to work, and she's suffering blindness, light sensitivity. I gave her some sunshades, and it is really a bad thing. My best performing employee has been assaulted, and for a week she didn't come in. She was in the hospital. She's got to go have her brain checked out next week, and she's in a world of hurt. Another thing that happened, I went to Chase Bank, and I needed a new debit card because scammers are everywhere. So someone got my information, and the bank reversed the charges, and I'm fine. Couldn't order the card because their system was down. Then I don't keep all my money in one place. I had money in another place, and I needed my money. Big professional company, and they had employees that were out, so they could not transfer my money, not yesterday or the day before. I finally get my money today at 5 o'clock. And I'm just sitting here. Even at my level, there are struggles. There's a lot of struggles. And one of the things I did, because I've been really focusing on the online business, I literally just told everyone that I just closed the office today. I was like, look, come in Monday, we'll re-strategize Monday. I got to send out a message tonight, because even at my level, there are struggles. And this is one of the biggest things I think keeps you guys from actually starting the business. One of my students, she is definitely afraid of hiring people. She doesn't want to hire anyone. She doesn't want to do any of that. And she's like, and because it's going to be a struggle. I had one bad employee, had to go. She became a freaking nutcase. I had to call the police on this chick. So being a business owner is full of struggle. It's full of bad surprises. It's full of bad outcomes. Like today, I woke up, I did some videos, and then I went and had myself a very nice lunch. Very nice lunch. I had a lamb burger, and fries were good, and then they had this fusion dessert with vanilla ice cream, strawberry ice cream, and chocolate. It was delicious. And then I went to the BMW dealership to look at an X5M, brand new deal. Looked at that, and I came home and I decided to make this video. Because right now, I'm in a state of struggle. And literally, it is crazy, because one of the things is I wanted to do this business off cash. I didn't want to, at the moment, I don't have any credit card debt. And I didn't want to use my credit cards, because this is my policy. I don't use credit cards until the business is cash flowing. And the jewelry business isn't profitable yet. So I didn't want to use credit cards for that stuff. I just wanted to use cash. And believe it or not, I was losing my mind, because I had this money and I could not get my money. You don't understand how infuriating that was. Now, with this, I'm developing a new monetary policy. I'm gonna keep a large storage of cash somewhere else, because what I thought that was super safe and everything, and it was, when I was doing just the online auctions, I didn't need cash. The jewelry business, I constantly need cash. I need cash for payroll, I need cash for rent, I need cash to buy jewelry. So it's a cash heavy business. And I was cool with that. I just didn't understand why I would have all of these struggles getting my own money. So that's cleared. Then next week we get into new. But let's talk about this. Many of you want to start a business, but you don't want the stress. You don't want the drama. You don't want the struggle. You don't want the headaches. And I'm here to tell you something. As long as you keep running from that, you will remain poor. I'm gonna be silent for that minute. And I'm gonna just say it again. You keep running from the stress, the struggle, the things you need to do, you will remain poor. Very poor. Because I looked at it and I the day was a moderation day. I just kind of stepped back. It's like, okay. And I just checked my bank account. I got my money. So, all right, we got that. And then we're doing this. And this is another struggle. Right now, I've got training going on that will help you be successful. But I got a few free books. A handful of people got the free books. What does that tell me? Number one, this is why I started all these new YouTube channels, to get a new audience. There's a few of you I salute. You're hungry, you're ambitious, you want to do certain things. You're in the courses, I appreciate you. And there's a larger segment of folks who just don't want to do shit. Don't want to start a business, don't want to get married, don't want to have a girlfriend, don't want, I don't even understand you guys. It's like, I think you guys are aliens from another planet because I don't understand you. It's like, what man in 2026 doesn't want to build, doesn't want to achieve, I don't understand. And this is part of the struggle. Right now, I've got some of the best training I've ever put out. And right now, this is the most difficulty I had reaching people. Now, one of the things that I notice is I used to put out a ton of receipts. And I think that helped me because the attention economy has shifted. Let's go back with all the issues I had when I started selling online courses. I had no clue that so many people were doing chargebacks. I had no clue that people were doing this massive amount of chargebacks. It just blew my mind. So this reshaped the whole digital economy, like with Stripe. Stripe, it used to be you could put your debit card on there. As soon as the money come in, you can transfer it to your account. You can't do that anymore. They will hold on to your money. Stripe has a 25% risk reverse on my money. So there's money that I'm going to get in the future. They're holding like $25,000, just holding it. And I'm just sitting there like, okay, that's a struggle. And then with these online course creators, a lot of people have been putting out some bullshit. And this is why Stripe, PayPal, Square just released some money from some I sold in December. They just released the money. And I'm just sitting there like, when I was gone, I didn't really keep track of what was going on in the internet world because I was out and doing my own thing. But what I have seen is there's been a lot of bullshit. There's been a lot of bad courses and people are reacting and responding. Now me, Mr. Receipts, I'm getting some of that blowback because it's like, you can start a YouTube channel today. In 90 days in the future, if you start the right YouTube channel, if you monetize it properly, you could be making money. How do I know? I did it. My first YouTube channel, 2009. That's how I got started. It literally took me 3 months to start making money from YouTube. But, everybody wants to be an online course creator getting large YouTube checks. And that belief is massive. I did a video talking about how much money I made from 1.1 million views, which was $30,000. But because scammers, my previous channel got hijacked. I can't even get in my channel right now. They have to send me a special link. And I logged out, it logged me out the YouTube account. I can't get back in. That's another struggle. And I'm just sitting there like, I know from experience that a lot of this stuff will just go under the bridge and it'll be the past. It will be the past. But this is one of the things, and this is why I went to a very nice lunch. When looked at, I like looking at cars. And I'm struggling. Do I get me another Porsche GTS, or do I get me a BMW X5M? It's a struggle because the X5M is bigger. The Porsche is smaller, but the Porsche, I like the way the Porsche drives. So what I think is going to happen, I'm about 80% sure I'm going to get the Porsche, but I want to still look at the BMW. But this is the struggle, and it's not going to go away. You're going to start a business, and you're going to have issues. You're going to have employee issues. And like with me, I never expected one of my employees to be assaulted. Never saw that coming. And this is one of the things that just happens in life. And that struggle, because she's a great person, and she was kind of worried because she's been out a week, and she was talking to another, because this is one of the things you will learn as a manager. Coworkers talk to each other on a level that they don't talk to you. And she was worried that I was going to fire her because she's been out a week and everything. And I was like, and I sat her down, I said, look, you were attacked. What happened to you was fucking evil. So we will work it out. So she'll always have a place in my organization. Then I have a new person I hired, and she'll be back Monday. And like I said, this is the struggle, man. This is the struggle. And y'all keep running from these struggles. You think that in some universe, there's a way for you to make all of this money and not have these struggles. And I'm going to tell you, it's not. Now, I will tell you there's periods. In 2020, I didn't have these issues. I sold courses. I made a lot of money. Very, very minimal struggles, really minimal struggles. But 2026, the number of struggles I had, and let's talk about the training. I have people who ask me questions of stuff that's covered in the videos because people are resistant, they're scared. Trust is at a low. Trust is at a low. And, this is something else that's kind of funny. I get recognized more so now than I ever did before, because literally I will say 1, 2, 3. At the BMW dealership, there was a guy that's like, hey, I enjoy your videos. It's like now I get more recognition now that I came back than before. So I'm getting a lot of public attention, and most of it's all of it's been positive and forward and stuff. So, even with the struggles, let's talk about the struggles, and let's talk about you. Let the fantasy go. You're going to start a business. There will be difficult components to this business. It will. It's not going to disappear. It's going to be a challenge. And what you have to do, and I want you to think of it as like going to the gym. When you go to the gym, you can't bench 225. You have to be in the gym a few months, or maybe some people, depending on where your strength level is, a few years before you can bench 225. Same thing with business. The business doesn't change. You get stronger. And like one of the things that I see is a lot of people, when I send out the emails, they will open up the emails and they're like, And this whole notion of being scared to take action, being scared to go forward. And this is one of the things, like Jonah, the guy who we're building his YouTube channel, I'm doing extra for him. Why am I doing extra for this guy? This guy lived in London. He moved to Nigeria. He built a hospital based upon the wishes of his mother. That's a hell of a dude. So I'm going to do extra for him because I believe in him. I believe in what he's doing. So right now, the coaching program is something that normally I would not do because I can only handle like 10 people. And at the moment, no one has signed up, which I'm not like worried about because I don't know what it is, but people always buy my courses in the middle of the night, 9:30 to 4 o'clock in the morning. And I wake up and I see, I'm like, what is going on? Why do y'all wait to the middle of the night to buy stuff? Because like, like I said, I'm not even worried because typically the sales just come in the middle of the night. Don't know why, they just do. Like me, I buy stuff all throughout the day, but I've noticed this pattern maybe 12, 14 years ago. This is nothing new. It's like 9:30, 10 o'clock. There's been times I was getting ready to go to bed and I pulled my phone and ding, a sale just went through. I'm just like, what is it with y'all and buying this stuff in the middle of the night? I don't understand it. Please explain it to me. But I've got challenges, I've got struggles, and you start a business, you will too. I'm not gonna lie to you this. But let's go ahead and talk about the struggles. Like, I just went ahead, I'm really deeply concerned about my employee because I saw her the other day and she did not look well. And I have compassion for people who are ill. And I was like, look, you might as well just go home and we'll work on it later. And I just said, you're not getting fired. You got beat up. I'm just sitting there like, just talking to her. And she's got a lot of stuff that's going on, a lot of stuff. And then let's talk about my struggles, rich folk struggles. Oh man, you got money over here and you're waiting to get your money and you're bitching about that? Yeah, I am. Because I like my stuff like that, But in all the struggles in response to the benefits, I would put the struggles about a ball that big, and I would put the benefits in a ball that big. So yes, there are struggles, but the benefits clearly outweigh the struggle ball. It clearly outweighs that. But you will have issues, you will have struggles, you will have challenges, and this is not going to go away, it's not going to disappear. And I believe that some YouTubers have gassed you up and made you feel that you could build this independent, because what's his name? Dan Koch or something like, the one person business, and you can make $1 million as a one person business, which is deeply appealing because if it's one person, you don't have to hire people, you don't have to worry about it. Okay. Even with AI, the one person business has a critical weakness. It's just one person. I have had a recent experience that I'll talk about on YouTube that if I did not hire people, I would have been in a very bad state. So building, hiring people, managing people, having conversations with people, having people on payroll is an issue. And, this has brought me back to my storage auction days when I had to run payroll, had to keep up with stuff like that. And with you guys, and the reason I'm sharing my struggles is there's some people who don't think I have any struggles. And I will say my struggles are rich folk struggles. My struggles are not normal people struggles. I'm not struggling to pay rent, or that's not my struggle. I'm struggling to organize and manage stuff because I was like pissed off. It took them 3 days to get me my money. And I'm like, what if I had an emergency and needed my money? So that's one thing. And going forward, like I said, it's going to dictate a new monetary policy. I'm just going to keep a large chunk of cash here in Atlanta. I am not going to put it where I was putting it because when I needed to get it, because essentially when I set it up, it was like, yeah, you go in the morning and you ask for a transfer, you'll have your money the same day, right? That's what I was told. The reality was it took 3 days for them to get me my money. And I'm just sitting there like, okay. So one of the things that's happening, and let's talk about you guys. The beginning is going to be rough. The beginning is going to have elements of drama, and the beginning is going to exhaust you. Like starting a YouTube channel. When I first started my YouTube channel, I had a Toshiba laptop. That sucker would get so hot, and then it would like, boom, and then pop, and that sucker would shut off, and I would have to wait until that bad boy cooled off to use it to make a YouTube video. Then I had to go to Handshake to reduce the size of it. It took me all day just to do one video. But I'm a resilient person. I'm extremely resilient. I just don't give up. But many of you just, at the first sign of trouble, y'all like, I don't need that. And this whole thing, I see a lot of people in relationship commentary, there's like, leave her, keep your peace, keep your peace. And I'm about to say something. I may get married on my birthday. That's kind of where it looks like it's heading. And to be married, and this is a different kind of video, we're taking a left turn. You have to want a relationship, because I'm gonna do a whole video for a disruptive male about this. But essentially, you have to want a relationship, because the average posture is, my life is good the way it is, and if I happen to get a relationship, okay. And if I happen to not get a relationship, okay. I think that's a bunch of bullshit. And the way today's society is, we're gonna have a bunch of lonely ass old people because they did not make having a relationship, building a relationship a priority. That's all I'm gonna say on that. But yeah, you guys will have challenges. You will spend money and you will be dealing with this issue. And you will be in a position where you have to actually perform the duties to actually stand up and become a person of note, a respectable person. And one of the things that I'm consistently seeing is people just don't want to do the work, just don't want to do the work. And there's this fantasy land, like go back to the nurse. This guy is absolutely convinced that he can become a popular YouTuber. I have a friend, I haven't talked to him in a while, his name is Roberto Blake. The numbers just aren't in his favor. The average YouTuber doesn't make any money. The average YouTuber, if like 80% of YouTubers' videos do not get 1,000 views, 80%. So this is one of the things that you have to understand is people have these fantasies that they're gonna be a YouTuber, become this TikToker, and have that YouTube TikTok life, when there are other options that will literally put money in their pockets that they completely ignore. The nurse. I think he's one of the most stupidest motherfuckers I've ever had the misfortune to understand. That's why I took the videos. He's just dumb. He like railing on and talking about all this stuff. If he would sit down and focus and get his shit together, this dude could be a millionaire next year. But I want to be a YouTuber. I want to be a YouTuber. Some of the stupidest shit I've ever seen in my life. So that whole fantasy that a lot of you guys are holding on to, I hope you open up your hands and let it drop, because it's a fantasy. Because even at my level, I have struggles and they're not going to go away. But once again, my struggles are like that, a ball that big, and the benefits are like that. It's kind of like, all right, let me kick it to you real. You got some bad pussy. The pussy was terrible. Did you stop fucking? No, you didn't. You was like, this pussy stank. You stopped fucking her. Then you went ahead and found some new pussy. That's life. I don't know why you guys treat business as if it's so different. You got some bad pussy, but you kept fucking. You didn't stop fucking. Why are you so scared to start a business and to challenge yourself? That is the thing that just drives me crazy, because when I challenged myself, this is when I started making I started making more money in a month than the average person makes in a year. And that was the beginning level. And it grew and it grew and it grew. And like right now, I'm talking about my struggles, right? 3 months from now, probably be at $150,000, $200,000 a month again. But I got to go through this to get to that. Okay? In this area, y'all just, for some reason, let the fantasy go. I mean, you've got all these YouTubers, all these people gassing you up, telling you can make these ridiculous amounts of money easy with no stress, and y'all eat it up with the big spoon, but you still don't have no fucking money. Hello? Can we look at the reality? You still are broke. You still don't have no money, but you keep eating it up with the big spoon and believing in these fantasies. Let that stuff go. Let it go. Because the big thing is you've got to progress. And I wasn't kidding when I said there's going to be a bunch of lonely ass old people with this whole, I'm living my life, I want my peace, I live by myself. Okay, let's see how you feel about that 20, 30 years from now when you're old. You know, and I'll be 60 this year, and I'm talking about 20, 30. I don't really feel, I'll be 60. I don't feel old. I just don't. But having a 29-year-old girlfriend helps a lot with that. It's a good story. It's a good story. But are you guys going to go ahead and do what you need to do to become successful? Or are you just going to keep believing in these fantasies and keep refusing to do the work? Like I said, Jonah, this guy left London and built a hospital in Nigeria. The struggles he went through, the hardships he went through to get that hospital built, they were a lot. And I'm very proud of him for doing that. So once again, and then like with disruptive male people, they're pissed off. Like, I'm rebuilding disruptive male, but the sexual components, you got to graduate from the Royal Academy before I give you that. The masculinity stuff, we'll talk about that, but the deep, explicit sex stuff, you got to become a graduate to get rid of that. I'm not coming off of that because, and people are pissed off. Like, man, you put the Craigslist. No, there's no way you can use the Craigslist ads today that I know of because I'm not in the market. I'm in a committed relationship. I love my boo. So I don't really know what's out there in those realms because I'm not searching. I'm not out there trying to figure it out. But once again, I got a question for you guys. Who here is going to commit to greatness and who's here going to keep running and being scared? Fear is a big thing. Fear is a massive thing. And as long as you stay fearful, you will continue to be broke. You will continue to struggle to get money. That's all I got to say. Talk to you guys in the next one.